Hi guys, welcome back to Power 30, where we talk about, good stuff for 30 minutes. And I give you some tips on things that I have learned in my life that help me out, right? I always have to put a disclaimer on this. I am not a financial advisor. I am not a financial advisor. I am not giving you any financial advice. I'm just telling you what worked in my life and the things that work for me, um, so they can help you. You could probably implement them. Do you don't? It's really not a big deal. It's just things that has helped me over the years, me and my family, so we can succeed, right? So let's get into it. I was talking to my friend the other day, and she was telling me, oh my gosh, I watched your episode and it was really, really good. I gotta put my nieces and my nephews on my credit card. And I was like, yes. So I'm glad that this is helping out. I'm hoping that more people can, put in the comments, like, share, and subscribe, and also comment to let me know, hey, what you're saying, it does work. It's like my, testimonials. So you could just put them in the bottom and let me know that you tried it and it worked, and how is it going for you, right? So today I'm just gonna touch briefly on, once you get your kids' credit really good, here comes the sharks. Here comes the scammers. Here comes the people that don't mean no good, right? So it's almost like they scan the internet, and these credit bureaus, that's why they have a lot of breaches. And it seems like they just get people's information, right? So, and then they sell it. If your credit's good, you're even a higher commodity. What happened in my experience with this was, um, and this is what we're going to go into, actually freezing your credit, right? So once I got my credit score, I remember when my credit score was 520. You will never believe this. It was that low because of all the credit cards and all of the things that I had, and the charge off with that, my first car. It was just crazy. But my credit was 520. Okay. I remember my current husband, he was like, yeah, we're gonna get this car, and we had these plans. So we get a car. At that time it was like a Ford Focus. It was a teeny car. Because I needed a car. At that time when I met him, he had a car, but he lived really, really far away from me. And he would loan me his car, but at the end of the day, we just needed another car. So I was on public transportation. Um, so we had this plan to get this car. I was going to get a Ford Focus. He had the payments, he had everything planned out, and he sent me in. Mind you, we were dating at that time. He never asked me what my credit score was. Hint, hint. If you got a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you need to find out what their credit score is, because it makes a difference. It makes a difference on where you live. It makes a difference with everything, right? So he sends me into the car dealership, and I'm like, okay, great. And they negotiate these numbers. And as I told you in the last episode, he's a really good negotiator. He negotiates a lot of car notes, and the worth that he gets them down. He really does a good job with negotiating the prices and the length of the terms and all of that stuff. Anyway, so he sends me in and he's helping me negotiate, and I'm like, okay. But he's realizing that I'm staying a lot longer than I should be in there. So he's like, what's going on? Because it got to the point where he negotiated, um, and then when you get to a certain point in the negotiation, he says, hey, this all sounds good, but I'm not going to take it. Go ahead and run my credit. Now, that can be a plus for you. In my instance at that time, it was a minus, right? So they ran my credit, and he's like, why are they taking this long? And they came back with 520. And I was like, I called, he was on the phone and I said, they telling me that my credit is 520. And he's like, what? So at this point, he's walking into the dealership and he's talking through his teeth and he's like, you didn't tell me that your credit score was 520. And I was like, yeah, because I didn't know it was 520. So never, I mean, needless to say, we went ahead, we got the car. I think that car note had to be about 300 or $400. Yeah. So, it built my credit, started to build my credit again. But you gotta know what your credit score is. If you don't know what your credit score is, how can you get it up? Number two, this is where we're gonna go into locking your credit. So this is the reason why I found a way to put my son on my credit because I wanted him to not go through what I went through. And that was in the last episode. And then I also didn't want somebody to steal his credit. So, with all of that said, from the 520 with that first car, um, I started to build my credit. At the 7 year mark, I went ahead and I got all of the delinquent or um, bad reporting on 7 years, 7 years to the day on your credit. You can go in and you can write them a letter, really nice, doesn't have to be aggressive, and let them know, hey, it's been 7 years and you're still reporting that I had a delinquency 7 years prior. So you need to remove that. That boosts my credit tremendously. When I did that, it really boosted my credit up. And then I was able to buy my first home and really start. I got a couple of credit cards. Then I moved on to an American Express Platinum credit card. And then I got my home, my second home. So all of these things really helped out. But it takes time. It takes time to do that. It takes time to build your credit, especially when you're down in the dumps, when you lost it and then you build it up again. I wouldn't want anybody stealing from me. I don't want anybody stealing my credit, my identity, um, off of all the hard work that I did. I did a lot. That was a lot to keep up with. And I just didn't want that to happen to me. I didn't want that to happen to my son. So, but that doesn't mean it wasn't attempted. Okay. So, when I started my first business, we incorporated our real estate investment company in 2010. So when we did that, we got credit cards, you got Home Depot credit cards, you got a whole bunch of stuff. And then we have a business account, right? I had a business account with a company that I will not say the name of, and I'd never bank with them ever, ever, ever again. But I could remember waking up one holiday morning and I'm looking at my account. Now, I always tell myself this, and I tell a lot of people this. When you don't have money, you look at that account every day. When you do have, people with money, they don't be looking at their accounts like that. They don't. They don't know to the penny exactly how much they got. But when you ain't got none, listen, I knew it to the penny, to the T, how much I had in my account. So I'm gonna go look at my business account like I do every day because I ain't got nothing in it. And I see negative. And I know I didn't take anything out of it. So I'm like, and I was the only one with access to it. So I'm like, where did this money go? So I'm looking in my account and I'm seeing pet stuff. They went to the Pet Smart. I don't know if they bought a pet, but they went to PetSmart. I saw tickets to go to a football game. That was worth about $1,200. Um, they went to Shoe Depot. They bought a couple of shoes. I'm like, Number one, I wouldn't go to Shoe Depot. Number two, I don't have a pet. And number three is like, you know, why would you buy football tickets? Anyway, so I called the bank immediately to get them to shut the account down, report it as fraud. Did that. They're not as, back then it wasn't really as savvy, I would say technically savvy. It wasn't really like that. This had to be about 2012, 2013. It wasn't really savvy like now. You could just click or flip a button, stuff like that. So reported the fraud, and I'm thinking, okay, my money is just gonna be placed right back into my account. Like, why wouldn't you? No, it didn't happen like that. So I'm telling the bank, I'm like, listen, um, after you shut it down, you're not giving me my money back, but is somebody going to call these companies? So they were like, no. And I was like, okay. So I did it myself. So I called the football company, um, the place that they got, I think it was Ticketmaster. I couldn't remember where it was. And I fussed them out. I said, how could you go ahead and authorize this transaction when I'm the one with the card and I didn't authorize it? So I actually diverted the tickets. So it actually came to my house. And then when it came, so what they usually do is when they do these false fraudulent transactions, they'll go ahead and they'll send it to the person that the card's in. But then they'll, like, midway, they'll go ahead and divert it somewhere else to the actual account, I mean, the actual address that's stealing. So I caught it before then. So I was like, no. So I called them, fussed them out. They stopped. I guess they couldn't stop the ticket. So the tickets came to me and then I shipped it back to the company. Um, Called the Shoe Depot people. They were like, well, it was an online transaction, so we didn't really get to talk to anybody. Long story short, I end up getting most of my money back minus the overdraft fees. So the bank didn't want to pay those out. So I had to go to the bank. I had to say, hey, I pretty much did your job for you. Why, you need to put my money back. So I think it was like $2 that they wouldn't refund. And I was like, this is ridiculous. So I had to go to the bank, speak to a bank. A regional, some big person. And then they went ahead and gave me, I was going to get all of my money back. I don't care. I didn't care if it was a penny. I was going to get it back because to me, that was wrong. I'm putting my money in your bank and I'm not thinking somebody's going to scam me from within your bank. And I think they coined that skimming. That's what they do. It's called skimming. So what they'll do is they'll skim off of your account. So they'll take just a couple of dollars here, so you wouldn't miss it. But because my account didn't have any money in it, I missed it. Okay? I missed all of it. So anyway, so that's when a friend of my husband's, he was my boyfriend at the time. We weren't married yet. And I was like, listen, this is what happened to the business account, da 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 da. And he's like, oh no. So his friends, one of his friends told us to go ahead and freeze our credits. So that's what I did. Um, and it's actually called a credit freeze. Now, is your credit gonna stop in its tracks? No. That's not what it is. It just stops you or anybody from running your credit. Um, I it doesn't really stop them from using your credit card information, but it stops them from using your social security number, right? Um, so what I did, I went ahead and I froze my Social Security on all three bureaus because if you're in my bank account, I don't know what else you can get into, right? And then I switched banks. After I switched banks, I got LifeLock. This is not a commercial for LifeLock. I am not telling you to get LifeLock. I'm just explaining the things that I did in my life to protect my identity. So I then in turn got LifeLock. When I got LifeLock, I then doubled on LifeLock and got my all three credit bureaus frozen. So when I open my credit with the credit bureaus at any time, so for example, say I needed to purchase a car or purchase a cell phone or take out a new phone bill or a new electricity bill, I would open my credit for a certain period of time. And I would open all three for a certain period of time. And then when I opened all three for those period of time, whether it was a month, whether it was 15 days, whether it was 10 days, I would have LifeLock as my backup. So while it was open, I would have LifeLock backing it up. That's how bad I was. Now, LifeLock does protect you up to $1 million. And you put all your credit card stuff on there. So LifeLock would alert you. And I'm quite sure that they have evolved since then. Now everybody has a credit freeze. Now everybody has some type of security measure on their accounts and, two-factor, three-factor. Like everybody has all of these really, really cool things. So LifeLock might not be your thing, but that's what I had to do to protect my social security number and to protect my bank accounts. Um, so yeah, I went to Equifax, I went to TransUnion, and I went to Experian, created accounts, and froze my credit. So my credit would only go up because all the accounts that I was managing on my revolving accounts, on my mortgage accounts, everything would just, if I paid them on time, my credit would just go up. And I wouldn't really, if I did unlock it because I was going to make a major purchase, I knew and I controlled all of it because I would know exactly what frame of time that I unlocked my credit for. Not only that, LifeLock was there to tell me if somebody was trying to get me. So LifeLock, I think they monitor all the black markets and everything else. So sure enough, while I unlocked my credit one time, somebody tried to get in and LifeLock alerted me. They wanted to take a payday loan on my social security. So yeah. So it's a lot of different things out there. I would say just do the credit freeze. It's the cheapest and it's the easiest way to go. Just create an account with all three credit bureaus and lock it. If you lock Equifax, that's the major one. Equifax is usually the big dog, but TransUnion and Experian are good too. So if you lock two and you leave one open, they won't be able to do anything. They wouldn't even be able to do a soft pull. So just remember, if you're going to do a big purchase or if you're going to go car shopping, house shopping, credit card shopping, just make sure that you unlock your credit and you know what time frame you're unlocking it for so they can go ahead and run your credit. Okay? Well, that's my time. Just wanted to, oh, hey, before I go, please, as soon as your kids turn 18, just lock it. Just go ahead and lock it. Lock it on all three credit bureaus because just like me, when I went off to college, if somebody had locked mines when I went to college, and that's in the first episode, if you watch the episode before this one, it'll tell you exactly how to start your kids with good credit. But in this episode, I'm showing you how to lock it. Okay. So lock their credit, freeze it at the age 18. That way you have control over it. So nobody's going off to college and getting phones for friends. They're getting apartments for friends. They're, buying cars with friends. We're not doing any of that to mess your credit up. Okay. So the parents are going to hold all of those things in safe regard. Okay. You're going to know. So when they're trying to do all of these things, they know that you got it locked up. So they have to come to you. to say, hey, Ma, um, my friend James wants me to get a phone for him. No, we're not doing that. Okay. Oh, my friend James want me to open his electricity bill. No, we're not doing that. Okay. And that's how we do that. So, it helped my son tremendously. As I said, he was able at the age of 19 to purchase a car with a 700 credit score and zero down, 0% interest rate for the first year and 2% after that. Okay. And to this day, he appreciates his credit because his mom locked it up till he was 24. So I gave it to him. So at some point, you're going to have to give it back to them. But just give it back to them knowing that at that point, if you mess it up, like I didn't mess it up, you did. Okay? All right, guys. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this information was very impactful and it empowered you. Please share, like, and subscribe. I love these moments with you. It's Power 30. So I'm not gonna go over 30 minutes. So I just want to tell you, thank you guys. I really appreciate you listening to my stories. Again, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. You can either do the things that I have done in my life that has impacted my family in a positive way, or you don't, okay? Thank you again. Happy hump day, everybody. See you on the next Power 30. Bye-bye.